Good morning, everybody. We do recover, yes? Yes. All right. I am honored to be with you in this major art installation honoring all those in recovery. And we're going to get started. I thank you all, and just have fun. Think of it as a big coloring book, okay? All right, so who's got purple?
I had probably maybe like 10 years out there using alcohol, drugs, and then, you know, I had 2 DWIs, but then my third was I was in a really bad car accident and I killed somebody. So then I ended up in jail, and that was really my bottom, was when I went to jail.
At the ripe old age of 10, I found drugs and alcohol. I spent most of my adolescence and my early adult years incarcerated. Unfortunately, I'm not proud of it, but I've been to state prison 5 times. I've been in rehab probably 30 times. All the horrors of addiction came true for me. Jails, institutions. It took me 24 years ago in the meetings before I finally stopped using.
You're never too young or too old to get this thing. I wasn't born into a traumatic household. I mean, I come from a great household I was a Division I baseball player. I mean, you know, all county sports. I mean, you name it, the all-American kid essentially. You know, but unfortunately drugs and alcohol rid me of all of that. Even when you first are trying to get sober and clean, you know, it's a rough journey in the beginning. But as you continue to do the right thing and you get used to abstaining from drugs and alcohol, you know, maybe some blue comes up. And then you get a little bit higher, and then maybe some purple, and then some red, and then eventually achieving happy, joyous, and free and abstinent life in recovery.
I guess it'll be a work of art by the time we finish. But it's relaxing, it's calming. We really have joined together and come together as recovering addicts, which is very special.
I actually had a gift of desperation. I hit my rock bottom, my spiritual rock bottom, and I just needed a change. And, you know, I was given the tools that I needed to do it, and I was literally blessed.
It's the person next door, it's the person across the street. It doesn't discriminate. This disease does not discriminate. It's a disease of the family. It's just not a disease of the addict. But we're making strides here.
We wanted to celebrate those in recovery, and the forest is full of hope because it's their hopeful stories of their recovery. And the forest is life and serene, and we thought it would be an appropriate way for those in recovery who want to tell their story.
It's quite remarkable. In less than 3 hours, people who claim they're not artists use a high-end water-based paint to paint designs based on designs they did originally that I reconstructed and gave back to them. So they have 3 themes that we use. One was support. One is stigma. So you see this figure is very isolated. There's no face. This is stigma. And then the final one is education. They're actually a woman and a man. Chagall-esque flying in the air because the steps, a lot of them had the 12 steps. Every tree is the same at the base, and they have the same, what I call sky blue that we mix. And the reason is because I learned in the workshop, everybody talked about the experience. Going from addiction to recovery is like going from darkness to light. And then I thought, wow, if I paint the bottom black, that will be the darkness. And going to the light. But the light is not, there's 2 kinds of light. Most of us think of the one, the yellow, sort of the sun, the lamp, the candle light that we can feel. But there's another light, even higher in a sort of a mystical, sacred way, which is the sky, the blue, the infinite. It is the area of the divine that we ascribe to go to. And that is our path. And it was perfect for recovery because we're going from darkness and always trying to be better and finding success. So all the trees have this sort of sacred subtext under their subtext story on every single tree.